it kind of seems like the fighting is pointless. Weirdly enough,
Because
weirdly
of
enough,
Tadji.
nah, yeah, cause of Tadri, it feels like the fighting is pointless because they're fighting him. Okay, my man, he's not really feeling nothing, and then that Takamichi
Mm.
hits him, and he's like, really though, that of all the things that you could have, bruv, you're out there picking up these church pews, yeah, and someone hits you. This weak guy
Yeah.
hits you, and then now you go to your knees. I'm like,
Welcome everyone to another episode of Panel and Frames weekly anime podcast. This week, obviously, we've got myself, Eugene, and we've got Lewis and Phil, the usual suspects. Like last week, we're talking about Tokyo Revengers and Vinland Saga, looking to see where all the action is this week. And yeah, let's get into it. But before we start, I want to ask you guys a question: subbed or dubbed? What are you guys into? What do you prefer?
it depends on anime. Depends on the anime.
Because you know what, yeah, like obviously we're gonna get into Vinland Saga, yeah. Vinland Saga had quite a lot of emotional lines and emotional scenes this week. And actually, I watched it in the subbed version. I mean, that's the only one that's out at the moment. But I'm curious to see
Okay.
how well that dubbed one's going to be acted. Because there was some lines I was like, this was done properly. This is proper, like, could be Oscar worthy, like, stuff,
Yeah,
man.
that's a bit much. That's a bit much.
What? Nah, the way. Okay, we'll get into why I'm saying this later on. But yeah, I just wanted to get,
Okay.
Lewis, what do you think? Subbed or dubbed?
It depends on my situation. If I'm eating dinner, dubbed because I'll
Exactly.
miss
Yeah.
too much. But if
Yeah.
I'm actually
Yeah.
sitting down to watch anime, then I'd rather it subbed because you just get better emotions in Japanese. Well, it feels better.
All right, cool. All right, cool. Just wanted
Yeah.
to, to see what you guys where you guys
What
are
about
at.
you? What about you?
Yeah, I'm subbed all the way. I'm a purist, man. You know what I mean?
Of
I'm
course.
never, I can't do dubbed. I've tried to do dubbed. I just can't get into it, man. No anime
Okay.
at all.
So you didn't. So you're telling me you didn't enjoy Dragon Ball Z when you was growing up watching it on Cartoon Network and
Yeah,
them things.
I
Yeah, that's what
did
you're saying. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
until I found the dubbed, the subbed. Then I was like, nah, man. I'm not going back. The music as well, the soundtrack. The thing about Dragon Ball Z is the biggest nostalgia.
Don't disrock the dragon. Oh my
I'm
days!
not.
Before you talk, bruv,
I'm not.
can't
No. But
disrock the dragon.
you can't beat the cha. Like, you can't beat that, man. That is like,
Yeah,
and then
yeah. That's
we got
goated as
hours as
well.
well.
That's goated as well.
Just what I mean. We
That's
Rock the
goated as well.
Dragon on Cartoon Network though, 5 o'clock. Yeah, don't
Yeah,
I know.
it was about time. Yeah.
When that happened, anyway. We're diverse. Let's get back onto topic. So
Mm,
let's start with Tokyo Revengers episode 8. It's called Strive Together. It adapts chapters 100 and the start of 104. So obviously,
mm.
last week we left off with Takemichi taking blows from
Getting weighed in,
well, everyone got weighed in by Taju, but
bruv.
Takemichi got the
He
worst
got
of it.
weighed in, bro.
And this episode starts off with continuation from that. Can I say one thing? You know what?
Mm.
In this episode, yeah, one thing I'll say, yeah, so I was watching on like good speakers, and Taju's punches on a speaker with good bass are ridiculous.
Swear to God.
Literally, it's like boom, boom. I'm like, what? It's mad. And then you just
Okay.
think to yourself, like, these kids, man, like, how old is Taju again?
I was just about to ask, bro, because like, he's the oldest there, but I don't think he's that much older than his brother and sister.
Because the way,
I want to
Maybe
say
three, maybe
I'm
three
gonna say
years.
max 3 years, 3 4 years
Yeah.
max.
because the way he's
That's
beating up,
basically like a year 7 fighting a year 10, year
it's
11. You know what I
ridiculous,
mean?
man. Literally, the screen's shaking from the punches. But so obviously, this episode had a lot of I guess new fight scenes that weren't in the manga. Obviously
Hmm.
when Hakai takes on Taju, there's a bit of it's animated quite differently. Like the bit when I'm not laughing because it's actually quite a dark moment. You know when Taju's punching Hakai's head.
Yo,
Mm.
So you don't see that in the manga. They cut away to just
okay,
Yuzu and Mitsuya's face.
yeah.
That's it. So the fact they showed those punches in this
Bro.
was absolutely mad. And the way the screen was shaking, I was like, bro.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what,
I thought he was finished.
last episode, I was saying, oh, I didn't like the fighting and that. This
Mm,
episode, I don't know what it was, but I loved it. I
mm,
don't know
Okay.
if it's because they didn't go too wide all the time. It was like just more impact.
mm.
And also as well, Taju didn't look as big. Horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, that was crazy.
But and also they were like, you know what? So going back to that, they were like Taju obviously was drawn quite well, but there was a lot of big scenes in this chapter, in this episode, that I felt like weren't adapted as well. So obviously, you know the punch where Takemichi throws a punch at Taju and he takes the knee. I
Mm.
just felt like
Yeah.
that if you put that screenshot of that punch with the manga, just doesn't bang as much as it did in the manga, innit? Not as impactful. And obviously the epic scene where Takemichi's taking a beating from Taju and he's got his eyes closed and he says, he talks about loneliness to Hakai. In the manga, that scene is like drawn. You can, even though it's not like anime, you can feel the beating Takemichi took. I feel like the anime, it just wasn't as detailed as it. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter actually complain about this as well. So I'm actually not alone in that in that aspect where in that respect where people feel like the animation isn't always as good as the manga. And I was just a bit disappointed with some of those big scenes like big scenes that, you know, like when you want to take a screenshot from the manga or like put on a t-shirt or something, or like some of those, like the punch especially with Taju when he took the knee, that's like a big scene I think they should have thrown the money at, you know what I mean, and like really elevated. But that's just me. I don't know, I didn't think like it was that
I must admit that punch, it confused me. I was like, is that the punch that took him to his knee, or was it the stab wound?
No, it was the punch, innit? Because the punch where
that punch should look weak though, man, really.
Well, this is it. So
compared to what Taju was doing to Takemichi.
But this is it in the manga, yeah, because I think, because, you know, like you don't see the fight scenes and you just see the one or two punches. When they do throw a punch, it's always like quite a bit more impactful. And I think because in this fight, yeah, Takemichi was throwing loads of punches and it was just doing nothing. When he threw this punch, it was kind of like, rah. But because you didn't see nothing in the manga yet, then he throws it, you're like, rah, he's throwing a punch and it's taking him down. So I think the storytelling within the fight is a lot better in this aspect in the manga as compared to the anime, if that makes sense.
I understand it a little bit. My only gripe is, I feel like the fighting, even though I'm enjoying the fighting, right? It kind of seems like the fighting is pointless. Weirdly enough. Because of Taju, it feels like the fighting is pointless because they're fighting him. Okay, my man, he's not really feeling nothing, and then that Takemichi hits him, and he's like, "Really though? That of all the things that you could have, bruv, you're out there picking up these church pews, yeah, and someone hits you. This weak guy hits you, and then now you go to your knees. I'm like,
and
but then story-wise, he couldn't get up. Man. I'm like, story-wise, it's not really making sense like that for this weak guy to wear you in like that. But hey,
unless he's got a weak jaw. You know, that might be his weakness. His Achilles heel is his jaw.
I think it must be.
It's not believable. It's not believable.
The build-up of the hits he's taken has finally hit him. Finally reached him, and that's why he took the knee in it.
And the stab wound and losing blood.
I thought it was the stab wound, didn't it? Yeah.
And look, he's fought 3 people now. Like Mitsuya, we forget that fight was quite. Even though Mitsuya got banged, he still took a couple of blows. Hakai is now fighting him, and the Hakai's fight was actually quite. It was quite well animated, in my opinion. It was really well seeing it. Like you kind of think Hakai's got some martial arts experience in watching this fight because some of the blocks was like proper well choreographed. You know what I mean? So we're interested to see like where the inspiration has come from to for that fight scene. But you know what?
I wasn't feeling. Go on.
Oh, sorry. No, go on.
No, I was saying I wasn't feeling. You know when Hakai is just crying and they've got the music in the background. I didn't like that music, man.
It's just, you know what it is? I just feel like, other than the fight scene, I just feel like some stuff has not been adapted that good. You know what I mean?
Like what?
Just like the scene you're talking about, with the crying scene. It looks a lot more better in the manga than it does in the anime. And like you said, the music was like, whatever, man.
I hear that. But in general, though, right? How do you feel like the story of this episode went?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. You had obviously the fight scenes. Then I think the big reveal of Hakai revealing about what's actually happening. What actually happened?
That was good. That
was deep. You know. And I think there was a good, in my opinion, there was a good mix of action and storytelling in terms of emotive storytelling. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. The mum stuff,
yeah.
Whatever, innit?
When she's hugging her in the church,
I'm like, why do we need to see that? Like, we don't really care.
I just like let's see the fighting, man. And we could have had more Mikey, but instead of ending on Mikey like saying Merry Christmas in English.
I think it ended well though.
That was cold though. I like the way that ended,
bro.
Mikey came in like
when you can hear the motorbike.
When Mikey stepped in the church, you hear the on the door, and he says Merry Christmas.
I wanted more of Mikey though. I wanted more of Mikey. It ended in work. But you know what scene, that was like still stays with me right now. When Chifuyu leg snapped. What the? You know what he's fighting?
Yeah.
What?
What? He was like backpedaling, right? And his
Yeah.
leg. What the
What
hell?
age is this? Is this not for
Got
kids?
some glass ankles, mate.
Bro, because in the manga, yeah, it says, "Oh, my leg's finished," yeah, or whatever, yeah. But
Mhm.
then you don't see none of that. You don't see like there's no. He just
Oh,
says he just falls over. But this one, you hear the crowd. You're like,
yeah.
But then
ah.
again, right, just storytelling wise,
Hmm.
it makes sense that they put something in there to actually
Yeah,
explain why his leg is actually hurting. Because as you said in the
Yeah.
manga, they don't give an explanation as to why his legs
yeah.
hurting. It's just his legs hurting, so now he's incapacitated out of the fight. But yeah, he's fighting someone and now he messes up his ankle or whatever the hell his legs messed up. So now he's actually there's a reason behind it now.
No, exactly, and that basically helps the episode of flow rather than him just randomly be on the floor. So cutting away now he's on the floor. But the big
Exactly.
reveal of Hakai, like obviously we've read the manga before, yeah. But if you hadn't read the manga before, yeah, what's your thoughts on this big reveal then, or your thoughts about Hakai in general?
That is moist.
Yeah, brother.
That is moist.
The
What?
fact that Coco can
Oh,
hurt you like that, yeah, it just proves you're a waste. I wouldn't say a waste guy because this is abuse we're talking about. It's quite a mad situation there, but
Hmm.
I think for me, it was just the fact that he's a big guy, and obviously he's just basically gone through his life having this lie
Hmm.
about, you know what I
yeah.
mean? I think that's like
Hmm.
that is mad. So like,
And he's been carrying on he's been continuing the life for so many years as well. Like, and he ends up, and when you add it into the whole storyline of things, right? His future, what Takamichi's trying to save, is basically built on a lie as well. So then he becomes this big
Yeah.
gang leader boss. That's a whole facade. Like, and then when he's there in the future, he's looking like some big scary don. Nah, bro, he's out of here.
but you know what would be
It,
interesting, yeah? If we never got to see his sister in the future, so I do wonder, yeah, in that other timeline, what happened to his
mm,
sister? Obviously, if Taji's been killed, which I think it wasn't by Hakai, it was actually by sister. Because remember when he stabbed her, then Takemichi put two together. Oh, that uses
yeah.
the one
Hmm.
that kills him. Where is she in the future? Because I would like to see how all this has affected her. Because obviously she's the one taking the beatings, and she's the one that
Mm,
killed him. Is she in prison or is she dead
She's
or?
probably living her best life. She's been
maybe.
taking beatings for years, and now he's gone, and her other brother is living his fake life, thinking he's a tough boy. She can actually just like, you know what, I'm gonna take a breather. She's probably like
Maybe. And also
backpacking.
they might adapt like that new part of the story because we were talking about how long how long this is gonna run on for, right?
True.
They might just add that little piece in and be like, okay, this is what's going on with her in the future. So we know.
Yeah, no, because obviously we could see what happened. Like, we'll be good to see what happens to her in the new future. But I've just wanted to see the alternate future, what happened in that one.
Hmm.
Mm,
That would have been better to see what happened. But yeah, I mean, like overall, the episode was pretty good. The fight scenes did elevate the whole sequence, and I feel like the fights were choreographed a lot better. Um, yeah, those punches. Oh, God, they need to just end. They need to stop this fight, man, because it's getting ridiculous.
yeah.
Like we should like what reading the manga, yeah, you're like, okay, this fight is dark and it's deep in it, but
Hmm.
watching it and just like with the bass on the speakers, you're like, fuck, excuse me my language. I'm like, oh my god, these are
Yeah.
licks, bro. You don't want to see no one take this is
Yeah.
like World Star, bro.
Yeah, you don't want to see no one take these kind of hits. And that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like the fighting is pointless because it's such a one-sided assault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a one-man army basically. Even Coco and them man, nah, they couldn't get out of here. It ain't nothing. Because Taju could really fight everyone by himself
I
and be
know,
calm.
man.
Easy, yeah.
So
They've given Coco and Inopy such screen time, man. The fact that Coco
mhm.
was like saying, "Oh, you let a woman defend you," I'm like, "Oh, bro." He's like such an any guy, man. He's like running his mouth. He's lucky that he's not been beaten up that he can talk how much trash he's talking. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah. But it might sound bad, but really and truly, the best part of the whole episode for me was the end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I liked how Mikey came in. That was
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
the best bit.
Nah. I hear what you're saying, man. Like the way the bike, you heard the
Hmm.
Yeah.
bike,
Hmm.
and then was like, oh, and I think them wanting who called Mikey, blah blah blah. But you know what I'm curious for, yeah, and I want them to animate it is Dragon's still outside with
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the all the black dragons. Are we going to see that fight? I don't think we are, but I would love to see just
I
Dragon.
think we have
Just
to.
even a
We
little
got
piece. We have to see a little piece because like the first thing you have to think of, yeah, Mikey's a beast, right? But
Mm.
they were surrounded by bare black dragons outside of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Mikey didn't just walk through all of them. Yeah. He folded up a couple of them origami style. Yeah. Got them out of here. Yeah. And then like he can't deal with 100 man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. So everyone has to like be they must be doing something out there. We have to see at least a little piece.
I
we
hope
got
they
five
do.
more episodes. We got 5 more episodes. They're going to be outside with.
Come on, bro.
Well, I
Definitely.
mean, they must do. I do wonder how much like filler they're going to add into this because obviously I think they're going to end with when Takemichi goes to the future and then he sees future Mikey and then we won't do any spoilers, but a bit of
Yeah,
madness.
don't be spoiling. Don't be spoiling.
But
Jesus.
yeah, no, I think if anything, yeah, if they are going to add fights to it, definitely add that fight. Like, let's see Draken just like bang out the black dragons. If they don't, they don't. It's not going to
I
kill
think
me.
they will. I think
If
they
it
will
really,
have to.
I'm hoping that they will as well.
oh well,
Because with 5 episodes, we can't just be in the church for another 5 episodes. There's no
Yeah,
way.
no.
yeah.
The fight. Cause remember, fight's gonna, I think the fight will be done next week with. I think that this whole church bit will be done for next episode. That'll be it. Then after that, we'll have 4 episodes of like reconciliation and all the aftermath from it.
Mm.
Okay.
But then, do you really feel like reconciliation and the aftermath is gonna like constitute for the rest of the episodes? Do you feel like
Mm.
that's? I feel like that's a bit of overkill. No, you can cover that in
It
one or
dep-
two
look,
two episodes, if that.
it depends. At the start, they did that bowling saga. They might add some more of that filler into it as well, and they might
Mm.
pad out of that. But in terms of this episode, guys, let's give our scores. So, Lewis, your score for this episode, what are you giving it?
I'm gonna say a 8.59 almost.
Okay, it's good.
Wow.
I enjoyed the fighting with this one more than the other one just because you saw the impact, and I was listening to it with headphones, and I felt like I got the same experience of the punches of the boom. It's like it's right in my head, and also the reveal of Hakai just kind of lying this whole time. Great, and Mikey at the end was sick.
I got it at 8.5. Yeah, I liked I liked basically the same stuff that Eugene liked, not Eugene, Lewis liked. The only thing that really why I didn't give it more is because I felt like, yo, man, this is a stupid fight. This man should have been already beat them up. Yeah. So all this chatty patty thing.
But he's
Man's there
taking
like,
the knee.
oh,
Yeah.
he's taking the knee and he's like, oh God, why are you punishing me? And I'm like,
That
brother,
scene
you should
though.
have been folded them. You should have been folded them. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was still good. It was still good. I'm not gonna act like it was terrible. It was good. It was just that just little nuances that I didn't really like, and the mother scene where the mom's hugging
Oh
thingy in the
yeah.
gym. I'm like, I'm alright, right, trying to see that. But yeah,
I
I'm
know.
good. What are you saying, Eugene?
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, because I actually I enjoyed the fight scenes. I thought, they did elevate the over episode and like added to like stuff we didn't see in the manga. Like, especially when the scene you're just talking about when Taju says, "Oh God, why you tested me?" and he punches Hakai's head several times. I feel like those scenes added to the brutality of this whole scenario and
Mm-hmm.
just elevated it like quite a bit. But I just feel like some of the key scenes for me, like, look, I'm just saying to say, obviously I love reading manga, and I feel like
Mm-hmm.
some of the scenes just weren't adapted as well in the anime for me to warrant a good score, to warrant a higher score. And I felt like there were key parts that were like really significant to this, that kind of make this arc what it is, like that punch where Taju takes the knee. You know, Takemichi has a few scenes in this manga here where he says like really he has the big one-liners and it has like a iconic image and happens in a few arcs. And this was one of them where he said that stuff to Hakai about loneliness. And that was done pretty
Mm-hmm.
poorly. So for me, I just think like, if those big scenes they're not throwaway scenes, they're big scenes that they need to be animated a lot better. So it could have even got a 6.5 or 6 to be honest, but I feel like because the fight,
Damn.
no, honestly, but I think because of the fights did help raise it. So yeah, 7.5 for me.
Okay. Cool.
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 All right, cool. After the harrowing beef between the siblings, we're moving on to another dark episode. Vinland Saga Episode 8, An Empty Man, which
Ah.
adapts chapters 68 and 69. Yeah. So you know what? One thing we'll say from the get-go,
Mm-hmm.
this episode already adds its own spin to that dream sequence, which I thought worked really well. In the
Okay.
manga, there's two things that you don't see. So you don't
Okay,
see
go on.
young Thorfinn go into the family. You know at the
Oh
start.
yeah, yeah,
You don't
yeah,
see
yeah,
that. And you know the bit where he's climbing when he's holding on to the rocks
Amazing.
and those the dead people break his
yeah,
fingers.
yeah, yeah. You don't see that bit.
Bruv, that bit, yeah, for me,
So
that
cinematic, man.
oh amazing.
Yeah, I've, like it might sound mad, but I feel like they should have adapted more because
Mm.
like in the little preview that you see at the end for the next episode,
Mm,
yeah, that next bit encompasses more of like the dream sequence, right?
mm.
And I feel like that bit would have had like because you would have had the whole thing, and that in all honesty, that part of like the manga was
Mm.
one of the better parts when I was reading. I was like, yo, when they do this is gonna be so mad. His whole emotional state and all of that, but they done it well. They done it well. I'm just looking forward to seeing what else is coming out.
That
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, I think like for me, this episode, yeah, I think the beauty of it was like it didn't like yeah, it had action scenes when obviously Thorfinn and Aina got into it with those two other slave owner guys.
That
But
was good as well, though.
that wasn't
Yeah.
even the best. The best part of the actual episode, like the story and like just Thorfinn, the therapy Thorfinn's going through, saying like,
Hmm.
"Oh, without hatred of empty." Those lines were just epic, man, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
they
what I was
were.
talking about. In English, if it was done in like in English, are those ones gonna land well as hearing it in the sub?
I
Because
don't think they will. I
well,
don't think they will.
this is, and people are gonna be
Is the
missing
is
out.
the is the voice actors, man? The voice actors
Yeah.
in English be like ruining the thing.
But this is
Is
it, and
this there's only a few times, yeah, where I can remember off the top of my head. Like one time is coming to my mind right now, right?
well,
Talk
what did
about
the
it real
scouts
quick.
say? No, I'm joking.
No, 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 no. Yeah. The one time that's coming to my mind, yeah, is during the is in Naruto when Pain
Yeah.
is there. Yeah, is one line that Pain says is
Mm,
mad. It's better in English than it is thingy. Yeah, and there's another one during the Shinobi Alliance war against Madara. That's
mm,
another code. There's another code line there, but I
mm.
feel like if there was gonna be like adapted into like English voice actors, that line that you're talking about with Thorfinn, I'm not sure it will hit as well. It needs to be
No,
the right
probably
voice
not.
actor to do it the
This is
right
it.
way.
Because he's spitting stuff like, "Can humans really change?" The whole episode had a lot of quotables that were just like with the music and with like obviously the actor who does fourth in the Japanese one, yeah, it just all landed
Mm,
really well. And just like I was just like, damn, you know what I mean? And obviously, they copied like the adapted the manga very like pretty much panel
mhm.
for panel, except for a few things, which still was
Yeah.
sick. But yeah, that's what I was asking earlier. Just like in English, am I gonna have the same? Gonna have the same like you know what I mean?
No.
I don't know because, and I feel people who don't watch the subbed version are going to be missing out on like the epicness because this like last like Vinland Saga stepped up. I remember like episode 1 and 2 we were like wow whatever, but it's
Mhm.
really ramped up how good it's become animation and
But
storytelling.
Yeah.
this Eugene, yeah, because Lewis hasn't read the manga, yeah.
Mm.
We've read the manga. We know what this is all
Yeah,
about,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And the story behind it is what's pushing this whole
Yeah.
arc.
And they're
Yeah,
doing
the
it
story's
well.
great. They're doing it great, man. They're doing it great. So Lewis, from how are you really finding the story, and then
Yeah,
for this part.
I think this is emotional. The
mm.
way they've done emotion is just incredible. It's like a masterclass in
For storytelling.
making something, yeah, storytelling, just making it so like I feel sorry for Thorfinn
Yeah.
and I actually feel his pain. I don't know if
Mm.
it's because I've watched season one. Maybe would I feel the same if I had only just jumped onto season two? If you need both of them to feel the pain, which you probably
I
do.
think I
But
think you do,
honestly,
mate.
I've really enjoyed this. I don't know. Right now, I feel like this could even be better than the first season, just because it's just more adult, if that
Mm.
makes sense. Because it's the pains that we go through ourselves, like thinking about, oh, what did this, that, and the other in my past, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, when Thorfinn says, "Oh, the reason why I don't hate a card no more, and that's why I'm troubled." So it's actually that whole therapeutic side of him, like saying that he's forgiving the guy who's put him in this situation, is the reason why he's still in this state. That's very
Hmm.
deep, and obviously I can't break that
Mm.
down. 'Cause I'm not a therapist, but just those lines and those topics that it's talking about, like Lewis was saying, are stuff that we go through. Like, and well, not me. I haven't killed anybody. But,
I hope so, bro. I hope I'm not talking to a murderer. Jesus Christ.
but but you know what I mean. It's like the deep conversations that's having with Aina. Like Aina's just like, oh, my farm, my girl, and Thorfinn. I feel for the Thorfinn because Thorfinn does need a better person to chat to because Aina's like
Yeah,
that.
Aina's all about the farm and some girls, friends. I
Because
swear. Even when he found out the thing with the girl, because he found out about the deal that she's got in
yeah,
it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not really like his mind's not all the way there like Thorfinn.
yeah,
Thorfinn has got like the deep thinking. Yeah. Aina's like, you know what? I'm just trying to just make this farm cool so I can buy my freedom and maybe go and like run away with this girl. Thorfinn's thinking about life and the big questions like, yo, I'm empty inside. You know what I mean? Them kind of things.
well, this is it. I feel like Aina is trying to understand, but because Thorfinn's from similar people that did stuff to him, I think he must find it hard to relate, well, not relate, but try and give Thorfinn therapy, if you know what I mean, or try to like give him that kind of like assurance that like it's in the past kind of thing, you know what I mean? So it must
It'll
be
be
hard.
hard either way. It'll be hard either way because Thorfinn even told Aina, yo,
Mm.
I've been a warrior since I was 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
I never had any friends. Only
yeah.
thing I've known in my life, yeah, after my dad died, is war, brother. Yeah. So I've never had to build those relationships to have friends. My only goal was to kill Ashalad. Yeah. And then
Mm.
someone killed him right in front of me. Broke me down. Well, I ain't got nothing else to do now. I just gotta go
Yeah.
through this. So he's never had like that actual life experience that a normal person would go through. So Aino's out there living his life happy go lucky.
And also,
Flipping
yeah,
Thorfinn's got the mad dreams going on.
but then also I do wonder in all these years that like the time skip we've had, yeah, has
Hmm.
Thorfinn opened up to anybody?
I highly doubt it.
Yeah,
No,
because
not
Why
that's
really.
would he?
no, because he's probably not had like. Can you imagine as well him going through like obviously he's breaking all this down to Adar now, yeah. That's why he's probably
Hmm.
like going out like diarrhea, it's like oh no, because he's probably not to talk to. But
Hmm.
could you imagine all these years just keeping this inside himself, and he's still remember he's still a child. He's not
Yeah,
okay. He's not
Yeah.
a child
still.
anymore, but he's been a child throughout this whole time, and it's been like he's only like turned like what he's in his 18 or
I
whatever
think he's
now.
like 19.
I would question. He's still a child, as well. Even though in years he's an adult now,
Yep,
mentally
exactly that.
he's a child. He's
Yeah,
Exactly,
like,
because he's never had to develop.
yeah. He said,
He's
I
never
don't
had
know
to
how to
develop.
do these things that you know how to do. Like, all he
Hmm.
knew is how to chop people up.
Exactly.
it's you know what it's very deep here, and I feel like the anime has done a fantastic job at adapting the kind of like strong parts of the manga in such a like with the music, the animation, the way it's written, like the pacing of all the lines, the
Mm.
delivery. It's all just done
So
like
well done.
Yeah, he's done
amazingly.
well.
And yeah, and I think Vinland Saga deserves a honestly applause, man, because obviously coming from season one where we were all about the action, you think that watching this kind of like slow down pace, you wouldn't,
I
you
said,
know.
I got a question, right? I got a question for both of you, man. Yeah. Firstly for Eugene, because
Mhm.
we've read it.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was your first initial like inkling to say season 2 is going to be like this for people when it comes out, right? Like if you was to like round it up and just say, okay, yeah, season 2 is going to be like if you want to say boring or like not every people that enjoyed season 1 are going to think this is crap, something like that. And Lewis, yeah, coming from it and not knowing what's going to happen in the manga, yeah, is this okay and falls in line with what you expected?
Well, you know what?
Mhm.
Yeah, like initially when I first read it back when I first read it, um, obviously I was coming off like the big, oh yeah, battle, 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 battle. Oh, this is a proper like shonen. There's fights every second, and then after that, when it slowed down, yeah, at the start obviously I was like, oh, whatever. But then I just think like it's the way it's slowed down and how it's developed and the character development. You kind of respect that, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like you respect the writing and you respect like how Thorfinn is more of a three-dimensional character as opposed to just being like look, we all love Goku, Naruto, Luffy, all them guys in it. But those guys, let's be honest, like, as
There's no
characters,
interest. There's no introspection with them guys.
exactly. We just watch them beef. I mean, Goku said one thing that has been like proper like character development about like why he likes to not kill his enemies because he wants them to like reform so he can fight them again, which still isn't that deep. But I feel like with Thorfinn, Thorfinn's one of the characters that we've been given who's like got so many layers to him, and that level of writing makes up for the lack of action, in my opinion. So,
Okay.
I'm if anyone asks me about this, I'll just say, look, it's different, but it's still like entertaining. It's like watching a really good thriller. You know what I mean? It's like watching like Ozarks or like a really good thriller, and it's worth sticking to it because I get it. There's not gonna be all like the beef of the first one, but it's a different kind of. There still is beef, but there's a mental beef. You know what I mean? And I think it's done in such a way where it's just so entertaining. Yeah, and so
For me, I expected season 2 to be the same as season 1, so that was my expectations.
Yeah.
So that as soon as episode 1 came out, that got wiped away straight away. So I had no expectations of what's going to happen, even though you guys were like, you think it's gonna be this, you think it's gonna be that. So it was kind of like hinting that it's not going to be like last season. But I've enjoyed it. After the first, I'll say 2 episodes. After that, it's just grown and grown and grown, and it's just a masterpiece. And I would say to someone who was about to watch this that you're going to thoroughly enjoy it because you're just going to see the transformation of Thorfinn.
Yeah. What about you, Phil?
It will touch your heart.
I just if I was to like make it short and sweet, I would just say this is Thorfinn's growth. Yeah, that's it. I'll just tell someone, yo, season 1 was what season 1 was. You enjoyed it, but this is all about how Thorfinn grows as a human being and like real life for Thorfinn after everything that's happened to him. And you're going to go on a journey of just his emotions and how he gets through like a lot of kind of not necessarily everyday stuff, but stuff that the everyday person could go through at some point in their life, not necessarily in terms of experiences, but like dealing with mental trauma about something that has happened in life and having to fight with them demons that you might have and actually getting over it. So yeah, I would say it's definitely a roller coaster of growth.
Emotion, isn't it? Well, guys, do you want to give your scores? And Phil, didn't go first. What score are you
I'll
gonna
go
give
first. I liked it. I'll definitely give it like an 8.59. I like the animation. I like the storytelling. I liked all of it. Yeah, it's just my only little thing is that I wish it was a little bit longer and they like encapsulated more of the dream stuff and what's going on in Thorfinn's mind. But yeah, that's my score. I really liked it.
Lewis?
Yeah, I'll say 8.59 myself. I just think it's just a cinematic masterpiece, and it's just like an emotional roller coaster in the sense of it's so touching because you can relate to him to an extent of the traumas or the worries that you have in your life and questions, and he is just spurting that out and he's growing with it. It's like he's a blank canvas. Where's he going next with all this? But yeah, sick, man.
Amazing.
What are you giving it, Eugene?
I'm gonna give it a 9.5 because no, but because you know what? Yeah, it's like I feel like this is one of the only animes out now that is really like up in the levels of like storytelling, and I feel like it's not easy to deliver, especially hard hitting lines in anime as much as you can do in films. And I feel like if this feels like watching like a really good film, and that's why obviously I was talking about the dub stuff earlier, saying, "Oh, would it still land the same way if it was in English and stuff?" And I feel like the animators have just done an amazing job at adapting it. It just looks like the pacing of the lines, everything. Like when he says, "Oh, without hatred, I'm empty." Just the pacing of when he said, "Without hatred," and ... pause, I'm empty. All of that of the music here, just it all comes up to make some cinematic masterpiece. My only concern is are we gonna be treated to all this amazing stuff and then it's gonna is it gonna drop somewhere? That's my only concern, man, because the levels have been upped so much, that we've been spoiled with like so much good stuff. So yeah, no, it's been a great week. I'm looking forward to the next episode. And as you said, Phil, the dream sequence when they do animate it, I can't wait. If they
Mate,
pull that off, this is gonna be
they
like,
definitely
Yeah.
if we're going by this episode that we've just watched and like the previous ones, they're definitely gonna come through with it.
yeah, man.